In this lesson, lesson 4.3, our essential question is, repeat after me, how do you break apart add-ins to add tens and then ones? This is supposed to be ones. So what we're going to do in today's lesson is we're going to first open up our workbooks to page 249. All right, on page 249, we are going to write a number that I give you in the big, large box, and then we're going to break the number apart into tens and ones. Just like when we did place value, we would break a number apart into expanded form. So I'm going to read to you a number, and I want you to write it in this first box. So the first number I'd like you to write is 25 in the large box. So go ahead and write 25. Pause the video if you need to do that. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to first look at the tens place, which is a 2 in the tens place, and we're going to write the value of 2 tens. So think, what is the value of 2 tens? That's right, it is 20. So we're going to write 20. We have plus, we're going to write the value of 5 ones. What is the value of 5 ones? That's right, it's 5. So what we have done is we've broken the number 25 apart into values of tens and ones. All right, next number I want you to write in the large box is the number 36. So go ahead and write 36. Anytime you need to pause the video to get it written, please do so. So first, we're going to look at the tens place. We have a 3 in the tens place. The value of 3 tens is 30. Next, we're going to look at the ones place. So we have a 6 in the ones place. The value of 6 ones is 6. All right. Finally, in the last section, we're going to write the number 42 in the large box. I want you to go ahead and pause the video and write the value of the tens plus the value of the ones. All right, so what you should have done is writing the value of 4 tens, that would be 40, plus the value of 2 ones is 2. All right, so I'm going to ask you to next look down at the math talk, and I want you to think, what is the value of the 6 in the number 63? And then be able to explain how you know. So go ahead and think about that. Pause the video and think about that question. All right, so what you should have come up with is that the value of the 6 in 63 is 60. And we know that the value of the 6 is 60 because 6 is in the tens place. So we know that we count tens by 10. So if we were to count 6 tens, we would have 60. All right, go ahead and turn the page. We're going to look at the model problem up at the top of this page. So again, our directions are to break apart the add-ins of this two-digit numbers that we're adding together. We're going to break them apart into tens and ones, and then we'll add the tens and add the ones, and then we'll find the total sum. So this is just one strategy that we're learning to add two-digit numbers. This might be a strategy that you use in the future. It might be one that you choose not to do. All right, so if you look, we have 27 plus 48. So our first step is to write 27 in expanded form. We're breaking apart 27. So first we'll look at the value of the tens place, which is a 2. The value of 2 tens is 20. So go ahead and trace the 20. Plus the value of 7 ones is going to be 7. All right, so we've broken apart our first add-in, 27. Next, we're going to look at the second add-in, 48. So to break apart 48, we know that 4 tens equals 40, plus the value of 8 ones. 8 ones, the value is 8. So go ahead and trace those. Again, anytime you need to pause the video to catch up with your writing, please do. So finally, our first step was to break apart each add-in, which we did. So our next step is to add the tens together and then the ones together before we find the total sum. So if we have 20 plus 40, we can think of that as 2 plus 4. And we know that 2 plus 4 equals 6. So therefore, 20 plus 40 would equal 60. So we're going to go ahead and trace the 60. Plus, we add the ones together, and we know that 7 plus 8 equals 15. So go ahead and trace those. So then when we look at, after we broke apart our add-ins and added the tens and ones, we can look at these more friendly numbers, 60 plus 15, and it is more simple to add those than it was the original 27 plus 48, but we still have the same value here because all we did was broke apart the add-ins. So we have 60, and we can think about adding 15 to 60. We can think about that 15 as 10 and 5. So if we think about 60 plus 10, we know that 60 plus 10 equals 70. And we know that we have 5 more to add to 70, and that would equal 75. So 60 plus 15 equals 75. Therefore, 27 plus 48 equals 75. Again, this is just one strategy that we can use. All right, so we're going to do number 1 together. We're going to break apart each of the add-ins first. So if we look at 35, think about how we would break that apart into the value of tens and ones. So the value of 3 tens would be 30, and the value of 5 ones would be 5. Next, we have 54. The value of 5 tens is 50. And the value of 4 ones is 4. Our next step is to add our tens and ones together. So if we look at 30 plus 50, we know that 3 plus 5 equals 8. So 30 plus 50 would equal 80. And then when we add our ones, 5 plus 4, that equals 9. So then, since 9 is just a single digit number, we don't really have to break apart the 9 like we did the 15 up here. We can just add 80 plus 9. And we know that 80 plus 9 will equal 89. Therefore, 35 plus 54 equals 89. All right, so what I want you to do is go ahead and do your quick check problems, break apart each add-in into the values of the tens and ones, add your tens and add your ones, and then add those two together. And I will be around to check your quick check problems. Then you may go ahead and do the on your own page. And then you can turn and do our problem solving page.